Students spend so much time in the presence of a teacher, and sometimes being able to talk to someone that you don't live with can actually be incredibly helpful. That responsible adult can actually make a massive difference because students spend so much time with them on a daily basis that relationship between them can be such a strong bond. For me personally, I know that if I had felt unwelcomed by the first teacher that I told about my difficulties that I was going through, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now. That initial relationship that I built with that teacher was something that was so crucial to me getting the help that I needed in order to form my recovery journey and seek out the help for any difficulties I was having that may have been to do with school or may have been to do with home. Having one person in the school who I felt I could go and talk to was the most incredibly important thing I can think of from my school journey. The pastoral care team were always there if I needed to go and talk to them, and they completely understood my situation. They knew exactly what I was going through, which meant that if I ever went to speak to them, they never questioned exactly why I was there. They were just there and supportive and understood exactly how I was feeling and what I needed from the school in order to progress further. What they also did was they spoke to other teachers so that if I was having a difficulty in a lesson, I wouldn't have to explain it all over again to every single teacher that I spoke to. They already knew, and they'd just come up to me, ask me if I was alright, if there's anything they could do to help, and just knowing that they already knew was something that was so useful to me and helped make my whole school journey a lot easier. The best piece of advice I could give to a trainee teacher would be to be empathetic towards students and try and understand exactly what it is they're going through. I know that it's not easy to understand exactly what they're going through, but doing your best to understand can be so crucially important for that one individual student. Having someone who tries to understand and wants to work with the student can benefit them in so many ways that the student probably will never actually state that it helped them in. For me, that one teacher that I told was the most crucial relationship in the school, and it allowed me to continue going to school. The biggest barrier, I would say, for a student and a teacher would be if the teacher puts a time frame on when the student can go and speak to them. Now, I know it's not easy to say come and speak to me whenever during the day, but not putting like a 20-minute time frame on it when they can only come and speak to you, say at dinner time within certain 20 minutes, because sometimes putting a time frame on it can make it a lot more difficult for that student to come and speak to someone because they might not be ready to speak at that point, or it just might feel too forced. When it comes to things like homework, which is such a touchy topic for a lot of students who are going through difficulties, be a bit empathetic towards their situation. For me, when I had completed homework that was to the best of my ability, I got told to do it again because it wasn't good enough for the teacher. And that force added extra pressure to me and made my whole situation a lot worse.